And in just 2 weeks, we got 6 times more users than we had in the past 1.5 years. And most likely we'll end up around $10 billion total volume by end of this year. 70% of deposits flows go into Maximod.
What do you think is the end goal? How far do you guys want to go? This is airdrops.com. Stand here with a very special guest, Erbil Karaman from Huma Finance, all the way from Berkeley, California. Hello, Erbil. Welcome to the channel.
Thank you so much. It's great to be with you guys.
Thank you for doing this with us. So, tell me about Huma. What is the project about? Give us like a brief overview of what is the major pain point that you try to tackle.
Of course, Huma Finance is the first PayFi network. It accelerates movement of money globally, and it brings the yield that's generated from it on chain to DeFi. It helps a lot of payment institutions move money more efficiently and faster around the world, and gives them a new source of liquidity, which is the stablecoin liquidity, to skip banks.
Now, before we started this talk on camera, you mentioned an impressive number of 4 billion. Do you want to mention that again for the audience?
$4 billion, yes. So we launched Huma 2.0, the new version of Huma on Solana 2 weeks ago, actually.
2 weeks ago.
And in just 2 weeks, we got 6 times more users than we had in the past 1.5 years. And Huma hit 4 billion total transactions volume 2 days ago, and it hit 4.1 billion today. It's growing at $500–600 million a month, and most likely will end up around $10 billion total volume by end of this year.
Wonderful, wonderful. And here comes a comparison that you actually made when we spoke earlier with Ripple and their total volume. Can you give us the numbers again?
Yeah, so Ripple is, as you know, one of the earliest and biggest PayFi players out there, and they've been trying to solve this global money movements problem, and they have done $70 billion of payment volume in about 12 years. With our growth rate, I believe we're going to make that number in a much shorter amount of time.
So yeah, 4 billion in just a year and a half, 2 years.
Just a year and a half, yeah.
That's it looks very bright to me, being on the outside. Tell me about the Huma feathers, because for the audience of airdrops.com, we are looking for projects where there is good potential for an airdrop, where we can actually try to utilize the project to stay for the long run, of course, as long as the project is worth it. So what about the Huma feathers? What is that thing?
Yes, so Huma is this mythical bird, actually from here, you know, in Turkey.
From Turkey.
Yes, from Turkey. I was born in Istanbul, in this beautiful city that you guys are looking at right now. And those feathers are the feathers of the Huma bird. They are the rewards of the Huma protocol and Huma network. And the reason why we wanted to have a reward system is that so many people in our community were so much more excited about the point system, the reward system, as opposed to the 10% plus yield we provide. We thought like, this yield, 10% plus yield that you can provide on USDC is such a great yield. It doesn't exist, in DeFi. It's utilizing the real, world payment flows to generate this yield. So it's real yield versus speculative or, synthetic yield. So we thought when we launched it, a lot of people would be preferring to get the USDC yield instead of the points. So we built 2 different modes. One is called the classic mode. You can get that 10% plus yield, plus some feather rewards. And we also built a maxi mode because a lot of people told us, I really don't care about this USDC yields. I really want to have maximum amount of Huma feathers. And for them, we built this, maxi mode that you can get many more multipliers of Huma feathers. And we thought, that mode is going to have maybe 10%, 20% of the deposit flows. No, we're so freaking surprised. 70% of deposit flows go into maxi mode.
So it's 70-30 in favor of the maxi
in favor
mode.
of the maxi mode, because people love these feathers. People want to stack them up as much as they can.
That's brilliant. So there is demand for
the
Huma feathers. Brilliant. So tell me about how this could possibly translate into an airdrop in the future. What has been your history with airdrops in the past for Huma?
Yeah, so I think what happened is we did Cat Istanbul with Jupiter, one of our big partners here in Istanbul a few months ago, and they told the whole Jupiter ecosystem on stage that Jupiter is launching their new launchpad, LFG 2.0, and they want to make Huma the first project to launch on the Jupiter launchpad. And people heard this and they were so excited, and they started basically, collecting more and more feathers.
Immediately flocked
Immediately
to the
flocked,
feathers.
exactly, flocked, no pun intended. And we're actually planning to do our first airdrop soon. So we're working with the Jupiter team to iron out the details. There's going to be a DAO vote, so the Jupiter ecosystem is going to decide if this is going to happen or not. But we're very excited to be working with them again on this, and just go and subscribe to @Huma Finance and keep your subscriptions on, because we're working nonstop to make it happen and make sure that the people who are early in the ecosystem and supporting the growth of this network are participating in the rewards that comes with it. And there's going to be more and more seasons coming up, so we're going to announce them as time comes.
All right. So the moment the news drops, we'll also air it on airdrops.com for
Awesome.
for our audience, for our community, because we want to keep them updated on the latest and the most exciting projects. And Huma Finance seems to be one of those top players out there with a great potential.
Thank you.
And speaking of potential, what do you think is the end goal? How far do you guys want to go? Where is the end of this thing?
So, when we talked about earlier about the 4 billion milestone, total transactions, it sounds a lot, because especially in crypto, not many companies get to that kind of volume, and many projects kind of like stall before they get to the kind of volume. For us, it's like a drop in the ocean, because if you think about the overall money flow, the payment volume in the world, it's in tens of trillions of dollars. Just Amazon moves $1 trillion a year between the buyers and the sellers.
No.
You have Visa and MasterCard that's moving tens of trillions of dollars because of the cards being processed. So all of these payment flows can actually be improved so much more with PayFi. So we are so bullish that the a 10-year ahead is bright and filled with more and more companies and more large institutions adopting the PayFi network, adopting the PayFi stack, and moving money around the world using the stablecoin liquidity in DeFi. So we are here to just make sure that we're unlocking every single one of those opportunities, and the people are the new beneficiaries of it, because let's face it, if you have a bank account, if you provide liquidity to the bank by having a checking account, the bank uses that money to settle money around the world, but it doesn't necessarily give you back anything at all.
Not at all.
If you skip that system and let people deposit that to help the liquidity, help the payment flows, help money move faster, you can push back all those revenues to the users, and they can benefit from it. And as the providers of the other services and the governance of the network, they can also benefit from the growth of the network if they are holding some of their airdrops in their bags.
So it seems like the Web3 revolution in finance is happening now, and we are airing it live, guys.
You guys
Brilliant.
Yes.
Now, this talk wouldn't have been possible without Solana Crossroads, without the event here in Istanbul, your hometown. Tell us, how do you feel about such a major event being held here specifically, and what do you seek to gain from your participation in Solana Crossroads?
Even though I moved to the United States about 18 years ago, because I wanted to build projects where the A-stars were building projects. This is Silicon Valley, right? So as a tech guy, you want to be in Silicon Valley to work with the best people. And I'm glad I did, because I found my Huma co-founders who are brilliant minds and amazingly talented technical co-founders. At the same time, in my heart, I always wanted to turn Istanbul into a hub for people to come together, do business, build new projects, you know, familiarize themselves with a level of hospitality that doesn't exist anywhere in the world. And for that reason, I kept, always coming back for making sure that events like this can have supporters to help bring it to more people. We did Istanbul,
Yeah,
which was
just
one
a
of the
few months ago.
largest, a few months ago, one of the largest crypto events. And that was a huge success. And when I heard Solana Crossroads happening again in Istanbul, I said, okay, Huma Finance will be one of your partners. We'll do whatever we can. We're giving away so many tickets to, university students and different communities to make sure everybody hears about, Solana and how to build on Solana. And I think this is going to continue because Solana is such a global project. And if you look at where Solana is happening, it's everywhere around the world, which means you need this kind of hubs, right? Like Istanbul, like Singapore, like Dubai, like New York, for those developers to come together and then find opportunities to work together. So I'm very happy to see Istanbul is turning into one of those points.
It is indeed, and it's a magical place, isn't it?
is.
So it's brilliant having you here with us for the airdrops.com community. Thank you for sharing the insights that you did. I believe it has been very useful to see for the audience, and I'm very happy that we had the chance to sit down to talk sincerely, and I'm very, very grateful. Thank you so much.
I
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Erbil. Thanks.
Pleasure.